Hey there. So I wanted to just make this little video to talk a little bit about meditation and to thank you for joining me on the meditation journey if you have decided to do so. And if this is the first that you are hearing about it, this is something that I brought up on social media through Instagram. I was noticing that I wanted to get back into a daily meditation practice. I used to have a very vibrant meditation routine, and it was something that felt really nourishing to me. After I left the yoga group that I no longer felt safe in, it was challenging for me to connect to meditation because the experience of meditation itself was triggering. And so I have done some work around that and found my way back to a concept of connecting with meditation in a way that's very different from what I did within the yoga group and is actually more of what I was getting into prior to the yoga group. So here's where I'm at today, is just noticing meditation was a wonderful way for me to be mindful, to mindfully connect to my internal experience and to observe the quality of my thoughts, as well as give me some space to create a container for holding possibility and faith. And my favorite way to connect with meditation is also through prayer, song, and dance. And this is something that I had been doing. I'd been connecting to prayer, song, and dance without the taking time to be still and connect to my internal experience through meditation. So I had been skipping that part for a long time, and I'm bringing it back now. So I encourage you to play around with what meditation looks like for you, that it doesn't have to be just sitting cross-legged or sitting in a chair silently. You may be interested in a moving meditation. You may be curious about that, but perhaps, and what I'm sensing in most of us here, is that we really just do want to be still, sit down, and create a container for mindfulness and meditation. And it seems to me from the response that I got from most folks on social media that there is not a lot of time that wants to be budgeted toward this. So let's talk about the meditation schedule. And what I had suggested is at the beginning of your day and at the end of your day. For myself, I chose 7:30 a.m. and 10:30 p.m. And I am doing approximately 11 minutes in the evening. It might go longer if I want it to, but the ask I am making for myself with regard to my time budget is 11 minutes. But as little as 3, I think, will at least get you into a routine. If you can connect to a few minutes of meditation at the beginning and the end of your day, most people are going to say yes to budgeting 3 minutes, that it's not too much of an imposition. So whatever time you would like to do it is completely up to you and works best for your schedule. I think it's really fun if people can join me at the same time so that we can connect in, even though we may not be in the same space together, we can connect in that point of time. So 7:30 a.m. Pacific or 10:30 p.m. Pacific is when I will be doing it. I think it is really neat to know that other people are doing the same thing, that we are creating a spiritual community space by choosing to do this together. I love it so much, and I thank you very much for your participation. Meditation expectations. So for some people, for myself included, I had first tried meditation many, many years ago when I was having a series of mental and physical health ailments that my doctors said could be supported by meditation and by breathing exercises. I didn't have a positive experience the first time I attempted to do these things. I ended up feeling like it was just another thing that a doctor was saying to me because they didn't know what else to say and they didn't know how to help me. And that was my reality at that time. Since then, I found my way back to it in multiple ways. Several years ago, I began really just by sitting still and thinking about the different energy centers in my body. So that's something you might like to think about. The first energy center being at your root and the seventh being at your crown. And you can just imagine energy moving through you. We won't get into details here about the other energy centers, but you could just imagine like a channel within your body where vital energy flows. And that's fun to think about. Also, observing your breath is something you could do while you're meditating. A mantra, you could connect with many different mantras that you could even do an internet search for that might be supportive for you. You could use affirmations, you could count. There are a number of things you could do to busy your mind in meditation. Here is what I'm going to suggest for the expectation that you might have here. And that is, you can expect that with practice, you will be strengthening your mindfulness muscle. And that if you continue to show up and use this small amount of time as an investment for stillness, that your practice will yield results in that you will have an easier, more well-established path to stillness within you, within your internal experience. And that can then be brought into your daily life where you might be having challenging experiences, helping to connect you to a perspective that is greater. We'll just leave it at that. Your perspective from witness mode can really serve you in real life experiences. So witness mode and how to cultivate an internal experience of witness mode, I highly recommend just observing your thoughts. So when I have previously attempted to stop thinking in meditation, like, oh, just empty your mind. Okay. The emptying of the mind for me is like a train that is pulling many cars, and the cars represent my thoughts. And my mind will just run, and these thoughts will just keep going by. Imagine that you are stopped at train tracks as an engine pulls a very long line of train cars, and all you can do is just wait and watch them go by. And so that's something you can practice in meditation, is mindfully observing your thoughts and become less connected to the origin of your thoughts as yourself, and just observe that the thoughts are nouns, they're things that are running through your consciousness, and they're on that train. The train visualization helps me. Let me know if that resonates for you at all. From the observation of thoughts, you might consider journaling a little bit about it. If you have just a couple minutes to jot down like the things that were running through your mind that you noticed. Like I noticed that this morning, my brain was processing, thinking about the logistics around things that will have like pandemic mandate type stuff that I wasn't totally clear on what the expectations will be. So my mind was running through it, trying to figure out what's most likely. And perhaps I could have satisfied that if I had actually found out before I sat down, found out what those answers were, if I could access them. But that may be something that you notice, pandemic-related concerns or strategies, ideas running through your mind. You may notice yourself fantasizing about food. You may notice yourself fantasizing about sex. You may notice yourself fantasizing about shopping. All sorts of different things could be coming through for you. You may be noticing, let's say perhaps if you continue this over even 2 weeks, if you had 14 days of data to look at, then you could perhaps notice that like, wow, from Tuesday until the weekly meeting that I have with my supervisor, I feel stressed out up until the point of the meeting, which is like Thursday end of day. So I spend 3/5 of the work week stressed out about this meeting. What can I do to help myself feel prepared? Or where have I seen that some of this worrying is unfounded, or maybe it is founded? Maybe you need a new job. Like, I don't I don't know. But I just made that up. But I'm just saying, like, if you notice that you get stressed about something and it happens weekly, and you may begin to see a pattern, and then find some action items for yourself so that some of that will be resolved and your mind will not be crunching and working at it at times when you don't even realize you're going to be thinking about that, right? Okay, well, this is just my spiel on meditation. I'm so glad you were joining me. I had announced on social media that I would do this for 40 days. I think today is the third day. And I chose that because of some routines that I've had in the past where I've tried things for 40 days at a time. And I just hope that you will share with me if you feel like you want to unpack some of what you're experiencing. Please feel free to shoot me an email or engage with me on social media. Happy new moon in Scorpio. That is tomorrow at about 2 p.m. Pacific time. And the moon is in Scorpio as of tonight. So get into those deep waters and look into the shadows. Meditation is a great way to do it. You may also, if you want to get fancy with regard to expectations and intention setting around meditation, you may consider, for now, all you're doing is just like doing an experiment to see if meditation helps. And that is the intention for the next 37 days. But perhaps you're into meditation and you're willing to make it a little bit more nuanced and setting an intention. Like today, I might connect my evening meditation with the Scorpio new moon. And the Scorpio new moon intention that I shared with social media and that I will share with you here is coming right up. Please hold. Through expressing my grief, I transform. This is supported by the Scorpio energy and the transformational qualities of the Scorpio archetype, as well as death as one of the Scorpio experiences that we have here as humans, as living beings. And from death, the ending, we do have experiences of tremendous loss and grief. And we are grieving during this time to make use of this energy. Scorpio energy, healthy experiences of Scorpio energy may feel bad. If you've been avoiding yourself, if you've been avoiding your shadows, if you've been avoiding feeling your own grief and loss, then this can be a very challenging time, even if you're connecting to it in a healthy way. But I think that mindfully connecting to it is much more supportive instead of having the grief find you, maybe at a time that doesn't actually support your highest good. The grief may find you or the pain may find you, and avoiding it makes it worse. Although I do understand and can absolutely relate to and have compassion for avoiding some of this work because it's really intense. 'Tis the season, however, and we are in this vibration until November 21st. So hang in there. Thanks again. Bye-bye.